is open for the attendees.
Okay, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Vijay, and welcome.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Presentation first open
Presentation.
open பண்ணிக்கிறேன் சார். Minimize பண்ணி வச்சிருங்க சார்.
இது minimize பண்ணிடுவா.
ஆமாம் சார். Minimize அந்த Zoom இது இருக்கு ப்ராப்ளம்.
எந்த ப்ரோவோ?
இப்போ ஷேர் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா
ஷேர் கொடுத்தா
ஷேர் பண்ணி கொடுத்து இந்த ரெண்டு ஸ்க்ரீன் காமிக்கும்.
Shall we start in a minute or two?
Yes.
I think some people are joining. I think we set the ball rolling and we'll start. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to the next edition of our regular program of the Contemplative Neurology Subsection. As you know, we have had programs in the past which were quite different from the usual academic programs that we have had, although they all had a common thread of neurology and academics interwoven with them. And they ranged from subjects as varied as study of consciousness and yoga and happiness. And that talk was given by our chairman, Dr. Sudhir Shah, which was excellent. And to the other extreme, where we had talks on artificial intelligence and consciousness by experts from IIT and TCS as well. So this is a different kind of program which we have had today. Instead of having invited speakers, we have our own people who will be sharing very interesting golden nuggets of information and wisdom. And of course, as I am pleasantly surprised, the common thread is still neurology, although the subjects are on the surface appear to be very different from neurology. Or the common foundation is neurology in all of them. So without further ado, I request our chairperson, Dr. Sudhir Shah, to give an introduction and start the program by introducing the speakers. Dr. Sudhir Shah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Vasudevan. It has been a wonderful journey all throughout these 2 years. I must thank Professor Vasudevan for his untiring efforts in nurturing this particular subsection. Friends, as you know, contemplative neurology was a brainchild of two of us, myself and Dr. Amitabh Verma. We thought a few years back that we should have some similar session focusing on non-academic subjects, but they are touching neurology at some or other point. So, right from art, literature, music, philosophy, spirituality, yoga, meditation, so many aspects of human behavior and human understanding, they are part of this contemplative neurology. So, we are doing a lot of academics day in and out, but certain aspects of life which are as important as our own subject neurology are left untouched. So, with that intent, this subgroup was started. With some hiccups, we could manage to survive this, and ultimately it is in now coming up in early childhood stage of its development, and I wish that once my tenure is over within couple of months, somebody else of higher caliber would take it further to adolescent and then make it adult. So that is our vision, and thank you for helping us out in this endeavor. Now, in this context, today we thought that why not we give platform to our own young budding neurologists who are having so many arts and cultures and a lot of accolades in other subjects other than our hardcore neurology. So we picked up few of them and talked to them whether they would be interested in showcasing their talent, and thankfully they agreed. So this was the first attempt on this particular subsection platform. We had done one such program, Neurohumanities, on IN platform during Corona time, where most of the seniors were given platform. Here, we have most of the younger group. You will see them. So it is very interesting and heartening to see how excellent achievements they have, and none of us are much aware of that, or very few of us know about them. So, in that series, we will have about 6 or 7 presentation today. Each presentation will be 7 to 8 minutes, max 10 minutes. So let's say about for six presentation we'll have total 1 hour, and then Dr. Vasudevan and myself will conclude the session. So each speaker or presenter is requested to keep the timing in a very proper context. So this will be archived also, as I'm told, so one can see later on IN website also. So let's have the first presenter. May I have Dr. Tejaswini Shamubhog. She is one of the brilliant neurologists from Gujarat. Incidentally, the first three are from Gujarat, and that is very important and interesting to me. So, Tejaswini hails from Anand. She is a consultant neurologist at Sri Krishna Hospital, PSMC, Karamsad Anand. She's MBBS, MD, and DNB neurology, and her areas of interest are neuromuscular disorders, autoimmune disorders, stroke, and other things. And she has received certain accolades and achievements, and awarded third rank in scientific paper presentation completion in the CME of Jivaris Solar Series. So, without much ado, I would request Dr. Tejaswini Shanuboga. Are you here, Dr. Tejaswini? I
Yes,
think,
sir.
yeah, thank you
Good
for
morning,
being
sir.
here. I know you
Morning.
are busy in some social function of your family, but I appreciate your commitment, and kindly, I think you are going to recite poetry and talk something on poetry. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please. So please. So
Thanks a lot
the first
for the kind.
presentation is poetry. The second presenter will talk on his art, his own art, and third would be a photographer. So let's have first one. Tejaswini, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this kind words of introduction. Um, so I'll start with a poem, which is titled Possibilities. So this is about brain. You are the instrument of the soul. To physical world, you open the doors. Oh, my amazing, beautiful brain, you hold the pleasures, you hold the pains. You know the history of mankind, the glories etched in sands of time, the fairy tales and folklores, the inner and outer worlds explored. The way to futuristic dimensions of the invisible, unseen visions, conjuring scientific inventions, expressing artistic creations. The bridge between past and future of energetic word, the translator, the original computer of the creator. Can you upgrade yourself to be better? In Salkai Gairai of perplexing maze, contained infinite secrets in a daze, exploring self and endless universe, do you hold the key to multiverse? Can you transcend space and time and experience love, spiritual, divine, embodying the love and light? Can you stop the wars and fights? Can you speak without the words and in silence feelings heard? With each and every life converse to inspire awe and wonder. The higher intelligence who designed in your crevices, can I find? On him, he himself wrote a hymn. Did he create you on a whim? Can you learn to bottle bliss, to express infinite love and peace? Can you reveal the whole tapestry to myself, my whole mystery? So this poem was written by me on that topic of brain when I contemplated that everything we experience in the physical world, be it love, be it poetry, be it art, be it scientific inventions or visions about future, or even spiritual realization or salvation, I felt that nothing is possible without an intact brain. The experience of moksha or physical or the spiritual salvation or infinite bliss, even that has to come from the brain. So if such an experience which mystics describe exists, then it has to be a change in the brain neuroplasticity or connections. So that was my thought when I wrote this poem. So now I will try to speak something about poetry and neuroscience. So what is poetry? Poetry is spontaneous flow of powerful feelings. Basically, the emotions recollected in tranquility. This definition was told by William Wordsworth, a famous poet. So poetry transpires at the juncture between feeling and understanding. As French mathematician Blaise Pascal told, that the heart has its reasons, but of it, the reason knows nothing. That is, sometimes we don't know the reason, but already we feel something and we feel that this is correct or this is the path, but we don't know the logical reasons of that. So that is what poetry is like that. It is coming from subconscious mind. So that is at the juncture between limbic brain and neocortex. Next slide. So how it is created? So when emotionality arises, when we are specifically when we are emotional, that time there is frustration, mute frustration. We are not able to express properly. But poetry is a bridge between neocortex and limbic brain. As Proust wrote, poem begins as a lump in throat, and then a sense of wrong, a homesickness, a love sickness. It's never a thought to begin with, but a strong feeling. So, poetry and brain, about that, Kahal, a famous neuroscientist, had written in a paper that how the writers are writing, the psychology of the writers. On that, he had written, even readers, like what we want to read and what we want to write. It's based on how we experience life. If our life is peaceful and serene, then we want an integrative whole life. So those people will try to search more adventures, they'll try to search more melancholic stories and struggles. But those people who are already going through struggles, they will try to look for happy verses. While writing also, such artists will write happy verses, graceful verses, and joyous stories. So that was the psychology which was studied by Kahal. It is true up to some extent, though not 100%, but I also feel that it is somewhat true. So, next slide. So how poetry is created? On this, a study was done by Liu et al. So in generation phase, there is increased activity in the medial prefrontal cortex. And during that time, there is decreased activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. So dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is associated with cognitive control. So when poetry is generated, at that time, cognitive control is subdued. So that it is more creativity comes from freedom. But when the revision phase is there, that is, once a poem is written and then it is revised, at that time cognitive control is re-engaged. That is the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. Also, perisylvian region, hippocampus, amygdala, superior temporal sulcus, and angular gyrus are also associated with this creation of poetry. This was studied. I mean, they had classified into novice poets, expert poets, and they had given them the functional MRI study. But I think they have tried their best to study it scientifically, but some things cannot be studied scientifically because poetry is something which is very spontaneous, according to my experience. So, how I create poetry, that is the next slide. Next slide. Huh. So, for me, poetry is like a sudden inspiration. It is like sometimes I'll try to write for 6 months. Also, I'll not be able to write a single line. And when I'm able to write, I'm writing 10 to 15 poems in a week. So it is like a sudden inspiration, like the story of J.K. Rowling. She was going in a train journey and suddenly she was hit with the idea of a train which takes children to magical school. So Harry Potter was conceived during a train journey. So for me, poetry is also like that, sudden inspiration by watching a reel, by reading someone else's couplet, or experiencing strong emotion. Sometimes it is a compensation for where I'm not able to express properly. Sometimes I'm not able to express my feelings or make someone understand my point of view. So that time, poetry helps me in that. So also when we are experiencing silence, in the silence, when we are observing our thoughts and emotions, poetry is created. There's always a feeling that something beyond me is making me write, or the something beyond me, as in something beyond the conscious me. It is like subconscious mind takes over, or poetry itself takes over, if I would like to use a metaphor. Next slide. So this is a poem which I wrote, and I tried to share the story that I was trying to write something on poetry and neurology for weeks together, but I was not able to come up with anything. Then one day I was just conversing with my father that what I enjoy about being a neurologist. And I told that the most interesting thing is that when we see, it is like a story. Each thing is like a story. We see the eyes, the eye movements, the way patient walks, the moment he is having. So everything we examine, we check the reflexes. So we enjoy the examination, we enjoy listening to the history. And sometimes it is like we also enjoy their personal story when we listen to it. At the same time, we are able to give something soothing. And sometimes it is not even like we are making a conscious effort to do that. Something beyond us, like we feel like instrument of divine or instrument of something higher than us when we are doing this. So in most social situations, I may not know what to speak or what to tell, but when I am in my OPD, I am able to do that. So on that, I was able to write this whole poem. Is I will not say, but a few words. To see, to hear, to touch, to feel, the eyes, the voice, the moment that conceal. In the debris of time, the stories and clues, on seeking beyond, the truth breaks through. Speak the whole truth if I may, merely an instrument of divine, I would say, unless I consciously created the brain of myself and multitude whose experience I gained. So this was what I wrote. Next slide. So this is another poem which was also inspired by something. So I had seen a reel on metamorphosis, how a caterpillar struggles, and when it is struggling, we should not help the caterpillar. If someone helps it, then wings don't develop. So pain is an essential part of it to evolve, to grow, to become a butterfly. But I wanted to write something on that. There was a guided meditation as well, which I heard that pain is a catalyst for growth, but I could not write anything. Then on poetry group, Dr. Kaul sir, he had written a short couplet. सपनों की ओढ़नी लिए चलती है जिंदगी, दिन रात रात दिन यहाँ डलती है जिंदगी, काबू के जोर से यहाँ कुछ नहीं होता, जादू के जोर से ही पनपती है जिंदगी. When I read that, suddenly the thoughts formed into a poem, like how some dreams are like butterflies which are already in the garden of my life, and some dreams are not getting fulfilled, but they need their time to grow. So I wrote, some dreams are like butterflies in the garden of my life, some covered in chrysalis in the chambers of my mind. My soul fills with wonder as flying butterflies I behold, though shy and restrained are now free and bold. Metamorphosis is a process of destruction and rebirth. Pain is the catalyst for the alchemy of growth. In divine time, they will transform to beautiful butterflies. With patience and surrender, we invoke the magic of life. Next slide. So this was another poem which was inspired by a reel on a puffer fish. So I saw a puffer fish. It is creating beautiful sand mandala art. It's a tiny fish, and and all this it is doing to attract its mate. And it's so beautiful. It's so romantic. I mean, I was touched by it, and I also felt that there is something beyond the tiny creature. Which how that tiny creature can have such intricate knowledge about engineering and art and everything. So that made me feel something, and in that feeling, I have wrote this. I don't want you to build me castles. Your diamond rings and riches won't dazzle. I don't need you to show me the word. I am untangled. I am free bird. Just show me your amazing sand art. On the floor of ocean, you show me your heart, your inner beauty, your real wealth. You show me the divine within you dwelt. So that was what I wrote on that. And next slide. And this poem was inspired just when I was sitting in silence and there was no thought in my mind. And suddenly I thought that, oh, it is so silent. I want some poem to appear in my brain. Like I literally called poetry that if there was some poem in my mind, some dance of words, it would be so beautiful. And suddenly I wrote this. I'm pining for you, my poetry. My silence seems to seek thee. My stillness desires a dance of words in rhythm of heart, soul's whispers heard. The desires rekindled with fire of soul, inspired new art, revived existence whole. For tranquil soul in love with a vibrant mind, longed to express how silence chimed. So this was the poetry which was inspired by silence. Next slide, please. So now the effects of writing poetry. So in general, poetry is very therapeutic. It is healing. So some emotions which we are not able to accept, we are able to accept because of poetry. It also helps us know ourselves better because we don't know some things which are in our subconscious. But as we start to write, we learn many things about ourselves. And it's like meditation. We become more aware of our thoughts and emotions. We are not trying to control them. We are just observing and making it into art. So we are no longer controlled by our emotions, but we are experiencing them. We are not running from them. So that is a type of meditation. And using poetry can help in education also because it would be easier to remember and more catchy. It increases synaptic plasticity, creativity. And there is a study in terminal illness, in children with terminal illness, they have tried to use poetry to make them understand concepts like suffering, hope, feeling, which they're not able to express properly. But if using simple words and imagery, the children are able to express. So it can have the effect of healing hearts. As doctors, our work is not merely to prolong life, because life at one point has to end. That is the truth. That is the reality of life. But even the last moments also, if the patient is able to feel happy, content, that is also a useful contribution as a doctor. So that's where art therapy comes into. Art therapy can of course heal. It can create synaptic plasticity and other things, help with the healing, but also it can make people accept what they're going through and deal with it better using philosophy, spirituality, art. So that is what I meant in this. Next slide, please. Poetry elicited emotions. So there was a study.
Tejaswini, we need to
Tejaswini, yeah,
go quickly. Yeah.
request.
Okay, sure, sir. The last few slides, I think. So
No,
this is about auditory imagery. So
no,
how?
1 minute, madam. Just finish
Huh.
fast. Okay.
Okay, sir. Auditory imagery. So poetry can engage in that mechanism analogous to music to elicit emotions. And there is inner voice. Inner voice is what we hear within our mind. So that can also cause strong emotions. But it is a study shows that even those hard of hearing are able to experience the intensity of emotions. Next slide. So these are the different areas like dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, medial prefrontal cortex, temporal pole, and amygdala associated with less complex stimuli. So how the sound of words affects brain responses. This slide is on that. The next slide. Reading poetry for me, it is a source of courage and comfort in tough times. Like during residency, if I was in a struggling phase, then one line like "तूफानों की ओर घुमा दे नाविक निज पतवार." That was a poem by Shivmangal Sumanji. So that makes you feel that you should not be afraid of challenges. Then there is a line by Ramdari Singh Dinkar. सच है विपत्ति जब आती है कायर को ही दहलाती है. सूरमा नहीं विचलित होते क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते. Then there is a line that मानव जब जोर लगाता है पत्थर पानी बन जाता है. So those lines give me strength even in times of trouble. And then seeing daffodils in Wordsworth's words. Sometimes when we are feeling that we are not able to see a beauty around us, just what he said. Oft upon my couch I lie in vacant or in pensive mood. They flash upon my inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. So wherever we want to go, we can go by the words, by experiencing the words. And emotional overwhelm and accepting things not in our control. So all these things. And effect of mantras. Like sometimes we, even if we don't know the meaning, they can be soothing. Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. When we, it may be in any language, I think, when the words are written like that in rhythmic, that can also affect the healing. That can be musical and soothing for us. So that is what poetry is for me. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Tejaswini. Not only that, your creation of poetry is fantastic and fascinating, but the science of poetry that you mentioned was also amazing. And I think we'll keep one of your sessions in coming conference in India, in Ahmedabad or Gujarat at least, or maybe at national level.
Thank you, sir.
This is a really
Thanks a
very
lot.
enlightening and very interesting. Wonderful. But your own creation is great. My only one comment is I am not sure when the artificial intelligence is so much in vogue. The algorithm that you mentioned, how far they would remain relevant, because artificial intelligence bypasses all this and creates poetry within fraction of second, which is sometimes difficult to, so that is one challenge in front of us. You have anything to say on that?
Mm.
Poetry created by
Is there what you
artificial
wanted to?
intelligence. Poetry
Yes,
created
sir.
by AI.
Poetry sometimes. Yeah, yes, sir. That also I had in AI can write poetry very fast. That also I have observed. By us, it is like suddenly inspired and don't know when it will be created. But AI, if you give any theme, it is immediately creating. But I think the poetry which is created by human and what which is created by AI is different, because that is a compilation of thoughts.
Right. All right. Wonderful. So let's move to the next presenter, Dr. Asmita. Mrs. Asmita, please put slide of Dr. Sorit. Yes, Dr. Sorit Bhomik. He is also one of the star of Gujarat in India. He is a movement disorder specialist in working in Baroda Institute of Neurological Sciences, WINS.
I got cut. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Sorry, I got cut. So,
Hello.
Yes, yes, you're audible. You're audible.
hello.
Yeah.
Can you
So
hear me, sir?
yeah, I can
Yes,
hear you.
sir. I got cut in between. That's what I wanted to say. That
Fine.
AI cannot compare to human because
Yeah,
for human is experience. That is what I
I
wanted to
know.
say. That
I,
experience comes from something within.
I know. So that's what I was saying.
Okay, sir.
AI bypasses all
Hmm.
these human component and still creates a wonderful lyric, and that is what surprises
Hmm.
me. And so whether is taking away some of our own innate faculties, then that bothers me. Anyway, we'll have some more time later on. We are running short of time, so Sovarit Bhomik would be presenting his art. He is a wonderful painter. We have seen a lot of his painting and creation during COVID times and otherwise also. His areas of interest basically is neurogenetics, neuroimmunology, deep brain stimulation programming, botulinum. Of course, he's a movement disorder specialist and is been an expert panelist in video challenge, Akhada, etc. He earned some bronze medal and gold medal in video tournaments. So, Bhaumik, all stage is all for you now. Are you here, Dr. Bhaumik?
Yes, sir. Am I audible,
Yes,
sir?
yes.
Thanks, Professor Sudhir Shah, for your kind introduction. And after a very beautiful lecture, thoughtful lecture on poetry and science of poetry, we are here now to see some of my artwork. To be honest, I did not contemplate much while making these slides. So it's just a simple show of some of my sketches and paintings. So I'll start my presentation. So I've named this presentation as artwork alongside academics because academics is the main thing that I do. And along with it, I find peace in doing my artwork. So my disclosures, I am an amateur artist and I continuously strive to be better. I use mostly pencil colors and watercolors. I'm yet to learn acrylic painting, oil painting, and if I get time, I hope that I get time to learn a bit about these forms of painting. So I'm in the first two slides, I'm introducing my family. I love to make sketches of my family. So here is my father and the younger version of me and my sister. These are some sketches of my sister and mother. Then I keep drawing the sketches in some important moments of our life. During birthdays, during anniversaries, just to make them happy, feel happy. Then we enter the MBBS lecture hall. So this is a painting that I made of my entire lecture hall, and most of my friends can be, they say that they can find themselves in this lecture hall. This is a professor, and I'll tell you that this is a PSM lecture, so we look a bit gloomy in this. But of course, the MBBS was full of fun because of the wonderful friends that I had, and they continue to inspire me in their life. So I made some sketches on them. I wish I could be as free as birds in this current scenario. I keep sketching, keep doing some sketch work on birds and animals. These are a few of them. And I hope Dr. Shailesh Darji will show you some wonderful pictures of from his collection on birds, butterflies, etc. Then comes the years of struggle. While doing MD and DM, you know that we have to study a lot during these years, and most of our time goes in academics and patient management. But still, we do find some time to do some artwork. So this was my professor in medicine, Professor B.P. Chakravarti. He is a very good professor. He was my HOD during MD medicine. And then I made some sketches of my colleagues during my MD medicine. And then in neurology, I very fondly remember my professor and HOD, Dr. Ashok K. Kayal, who inspired me to be a good neurologist and do something better and study more after finishing my neurology. And then during these years, I got introduced to my better half. And so this is I made a lot of sketches of my wife. So this is just a presentation of that.
Screaming things and wanna leave my old life behind. Not a yes, sir, not a follower. Fit the box with the bone, have a seat in the foyer. Pick a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
So those blissful years were something I will cherish for the rest of my life, and I keep making some sketches of my family members, and I do find inner peace while I am painting or making some sketches through pencil colors. And these are some of my works with watercolor. And somehow I find that when I am under a lot of stress, and I then start doing some artwork, it takes away my stress, and I feel so nice after while making the sketches and then looking at them. Of course, striving to be better every time. The fellowship. Fellowship was a period where I had a lot of fun because of the wonderful colleagues I had from all over the world and wonderful mentors in Toronto Western Hospital. And we had a nice time during the Aspen Movement Disorder course. Aspen is a very nice place, full of nature, and we went to trekking, and this is the place we reached, and this reminds me of the wonderful time I had there. So my wonderful fellows, I made sketches of them. So this is a video of those sketches. And these are wonderful guys. They are doing so well in their respective countries now. I'm very proud of them. And this is the entire Toronto Western Hospital group. In above, you can see all of my mentors with Professor Lang in between, and then Dr. Susan Fox and Dr. Alfonso Fatano. And during the fellowship, one of my co-fellow had a child, and I gifted him this sketch work, and he appreciated it. And during the fellowship, I also had a new member arrival in my family. This is my child, Neo. I made some sketches of him with my other family members. So while doing pencil work, this is how I do. I make a rough sketch of them by looking at their photographs, and then I keep on working with the touches. So this is a sketch of Professor Lang that I made during my fellowship. And these are some more sketches I made of the gods and goddesses that we worship in my own way. Sometimes I do make sketches to to highlight some of the movement disorders. I'm fond of doing that. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Dr. Suvarit. Yes, your name really suggests what? Suvarit, matlab good manners.
Yeah, so so V is often pronounced as Bha in Bengali. We say Vivekananda here, but there we say Vivekananda. So instead of V, it should be BH. So it's pronounced as Subhorit. So Sub means good, and Reet in Bengali means character. So that's the meaning of my name, Subhorit.
Good. So you not only good character, but you have good culture and good heart. So we appreciate you a lot. My
Thank you, sir.
God, you really have a wonderful sense of art, and your paintings, particularly portraits and natural scenes, are excellent. I'm sure you are good at other type of arts also, but you must find some more time to express yourself, you express your feelings. We
Yes, sir.
wish you a wonderful journey ahead. You have a long time to do that. And when you make a gallery of your painting, or maybe at least an exhibition, you do call us. And when
Sure,
you
sir.
when you want to sell some of them, please. I would tell
Thank you for being so kind to me, sir.
Really, I really appreciate your work very well, as Tejaswini also did very well. Now we have the third young star, not too young, but still very young. My own student, so to say, now is a colleague, of course. So, Shailesh Darji is a consultant neurologist, Care Neuro Clinic. He passed from our institute, that is NHL Municipal Medical College. He is interested in headache, stroke, movement disorder, preventive neurology, art, etc. He has a lateral thinking kind of capability, as I remarked several times. He has won some accolades and prizes, and is really good in philosophical things, and specifically his hobby of photography over the last few years have given him national kind of importance in acknowledgement. So, Dr. Shailesh, would you please give a presentation?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for a nice introduction. Let me share my presentation. Okay. So my topic is contemplation of nature through my photography journey from macro to cosmos. So here I am highlighting what is the importance of photography with contemplation with nature. So let us start with V mark. Nature is always correct. We can see a bird flying in a V mark, which is also known as correction mark. Now, as I would say, nature is perfect at every time and every stage. You can see this beautiful flower from my garden where you can see a open flower as well as a flower bud which is still about to open. So what do you think, which stage is perfect? We can see two phases of the flower, flower buds and fully open flower. Now tell me which one is perfect. So both are perfect in their own sense. Life is like that. There is endless quality of life. People want a perfect life to feel happy, more money, big car, etc. But life is perfect as it is in the present moment, like this flower bud and flowers. So embrace the infinite growth and be content in the present moment. That is the motto of my life. So after flowers, we can see a beautiful butterflies from my garden. These are the various butterflies which are coming regularly to my garden. Now my project of this today's presentation divided into four main objects: macro photography, riverfront project, astrophotography, and biodiversity from my window. So let us say one by one. Macro photography, it is highlight the smaller world of insects like spiders. It's actually a misnomer. Although it's like a microscopic image, it is popularly known as macro as it enlarges the small objects. It is very exciting and amusing world. We can see a small eggs of a common Mormon butterfly. This is very regularly visitor in my garden, and I once noticed this small egg-like structure in a spike of billy tree, and we can easily see this egg. Then another egg of lime butterfly, and then hatched larva is there, and it grows with these various stages, which I captured with macro photography. We can see a cotton bollworm larva, and this is the click of today morning. This is the insect with macro photography. We can see a very clear-cut picture. And this is the jumping spider with 8 eyes. As here seen, we have a jumping spider with 4 eyes in front and 4 eyes in two opposite sides. So actually they have 8 eyes and they can see all the aspects surrounding their area. We can see a various spider pictures. Beautiful eyes are there. They are all jumping spiders. These are all with macro photography from my garden. Then I was very much importantly covered this 2.5-year project of birds and biodiversity at riverfront by Bird Conservation Society of Gujarat. And I was very curious to see lots of species of birds around riverfront. And these are the this is the Patang Hotel. We can see this is the classical picture of our riverfront with birds. And it was published in newspaper also. This is the rose ring parakeet at Gandhi Ashram. During COVID time, I captured this epic picture where you can see a disciplined bird keeping distance with each other. Then in morning walk, we can see bird also doing morning walk. They are white broad walktail and they also do morning walk with human beings. Then this is the photo of sweepers where you can see a natural scavengers as well as a sweepers which are cleaning the street. So both are together. This I captioned as Alibaba and Chalis Chor. Here you can see 4 black-winged tails and 1 white-throated kingfisher. As we know that kingfisher is very active bird and very eagerly, like we can see jumping in the water and capturing fish. While tails are very lazy bird and they just sit there for many hours like that. So this is the Alibaba and Chalis Chor. Then this is the common sandpiper with beautiful background of riverfront bridge. This is the Dudeswar bridge, which is, we can see the pillar of the bridge with bird in front of that. Then these are the no-billed duck. They can see resting here in back of the pillar of the bridge. Then this is the egrets and pied kingfisher. Then these are the various birds which are winter visitors like booted eagle. This is the particular shrike and white-browed bulbul. There is a many variety of bulbul. Here it is a white-browed bulbul. Then we can see a red wattle lapwing pair. I observed this pair for 2 years and they always been together. And one red wattle lapwing pair, you can see an injury over the leg. So both are supporting each other during their feeding behavior. And one things I beautifully capture that we can see they bending the knee on the back side. So we have that thinking that our knee are different from bird's knee, but actually it is a different thing. The thing is that the bend joint is not a knee, it is actually ankle joint. We can see the bird having ankle which is quite higher level and knee will be in the trunk level. So it is actually an ankle which is bending like that. So it is same as human, but it is having different elevation. So this is the difference between human being and bird. You can see here. This is the spotted owlets and green bee eaters. These are the images which are published in newspaper. Then I have also done some project on biodiversity from my window, from my home only. So my backyards, these are all images from my home. We can see coffee clearing moth. It is a large moth. It is not butterfly and it is something a bigger size of moth. Then we can see fruit piercing moth. Then I also observe this brood parasitism where adult crow giving feeding to a juvenile quail. So it is a common seen in Asian quail couple. They put eggs into the other bird's nest and let grow. Chick will be grow with other bird support. So this is brood parasitism. Then we can see this oriental garden lizard. We just within a second it take it target and just looking back and then clear. So ant is eaten within a fraction of second by this oriental garden lizard. This is very interesting. Then I have seen this spider, that is Australian redback spider, which killed a chick of oriental garden lizard. It is very dangerous spider. It is more commonly found in Australia. Then this is yellow pepper wasp, which is regular visitor to my garden. Then I have observed this Fibonacci lizard with tail bending like this in a Fibonacci sequence. It is also known as golden curve. Then I have some pictures of astrophotography where you can see various images from sky and universe. This is the moon in the daytime with very cloudy atmosphere. Then we can see moon crescent, very first crescent of moon. Then we can have a solar eclipse. This is the solar eclipse which was witnessed, partial solar eclipse on October 25th, 2022. Then we have conjunction of moon and Venus from my terrace. I clicked all these images from my terrace and this is my son who is observing this conjunction of moon and Venus. Then we have Jupiter with its 4 moon, which was highlighted by Galileo Galilei in 16th century, 400 years back. These are the 4 moons which are very clearly seen in this image. And this is the Saturn with its ring. These are the captured by DSLR camera, not by telescope. So it is not with telescope, it is just by routine camera, which I captured with tripod. Then we can see comet Neowise. This is also I captured from my oven terrace, from my home. Then this is a cloud iridescence from my terrace. This is a beautiful image of cloud iridescence, which can be seen in the month of, ending of summer and starting of monsoon. We can have this unicorn cloud. It is also known as unicorn cloud because of its appearance. And it is very, like rainbow-like cloud appearance is there. Beautiful cloud iridescence. Then this is a rainbow with bird pair. Then this is the some appearance of Donald Duck like cloud. We can see clear-cut pictures. You can compare it. Then these are the various types of clouds which I captured. Then this is the solar ring. This is also known as sun halo, which is a 22-degree circle around the sun, and which was captured few days back with at my home. This is the nearby my home. Then at last I want to cover these rosy starlings, which are very magical birds and my favorite birds. They do magical murmuration and highlighting lots of various images while flocking together. This is actually a very big cloud-like appearance by murmuration of rosy starling bird. We can see a very big cloud-like image. Then this particular image also highlighted in National Geographic magazine, which was captured by me. Then we can have a making of heart by birds, which was also highlighted in newspaper. Thank you.
Thank you, Shailesh. It was amazing, and you classified it correctly with different, what is seen in galaxy, what is seen from your window, what is in the biodiversity, and all that. Wonderful. So I am really impressed that you have continued your and nurtured your hobby of photography along with doing service to humanity with your neurology knowledge. Thank you very much, and our blessings are always with you.
Thank you, sir.
I wish someday you come up with some small book of your photography collection.
Yes, sir. Sure,
All
sir.
right.
Okay, sir.
So, Dr. Vasudevan, would you have some comments on all this and then take it?
Yeah. They were
Please take
wonderful
it forward.
presentations, all of them. Absolutely, mind-blowing, breathtaking, and we still have 3 more people to listen to. So I am eagerly awaiting those also. I have one question for Dr. Shailesh. You showed all still photographs, especially these rosy starlings. Have you captured videos also? Because they change the pattern as they fly.
Yes, sir. Videos are there. I have my YouTube channel where almost 300 videos are there of different birds. And
Okay.
the heart formation is actually a video. And it is
Okay.
on the NHL Medical College only while I was doing my residency under Sudhir sir.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
is in
So-
2013.
So, while we were teaching our students, Shailesh was missing from the class for
Ah.
strictly. So we tried to locate where he is. Then he revealed that, sir, I'm taking this photograph. So
But
No, but it was my ritual on weekend at least to spend time on terrace for 1 hour to observe this murmuration because it is really very magical thing. And I have lots of videos of this murmuration, but want of time I have not covered all these things. But
Right.
video is definitely very interesting.
Right.
But before you take up further, Dr. Vasudevan, would you agree that our this attempt of showcasing the talents of our young people has really worked out very well? At least I am fully satisfied today.
I of course, I'm absolutely convinced. In fact, I would have been happier if more people attended, of course, but this is a very encouraging start. I see a lot of people attending and also joining. I would request all those people also to participate in future programs and make it much more interesting. Yeah, we absolutely agree. I think our next presenter is Dr. Asutosh Sudatra. Yeah, Dr. Asutosh is a consultant neurologist at Wockhardt Hospital in Rajkot. And his areas of interest are cognition and epilepsy. And again, he is going to present his photography experience. Am I right, Dr. Asutosh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for the warm introduction, sir. Is my slide visible?
Not yet.
Just
Share your slides, please. He is also an activist, as far as I understand, for awareness of the biodiversity and conserving forest and animals. Is that correct, Dr. Dudata?
yes, sir.
Wildlife.
now-
Yeah.
Are
Now
the
you.
slides visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So thank you for the warm introduction, sir. We have already seen beautiful photos by Dr. Darji, sir. So to begin with, I was fascinated by wildlife and nature in general since my childhood, and I've been documenting them with the photographs. So I'll begin quickly with general wildlife photos and then proceed to my area of interest, that is jumping spiders, which we have been briefed by Shailesh sir. Uh, so, so to start with, this is the first image of a crouching tiger ready to charge at the herd of deer. I had spotted this in Kanha National Park. However, the attempt was unsuccessful. This is an image of bended keelback I had spotted at Khao Sok National Park in Thailand. It is a non-venomous snake. This beautiful migratory bird is a European roller. They are peasant migrants here in India. They come from Europe and Central Asia and finally winter in Africa. This is a nocturnal bird called Indian nightjar. You can see how well it is camouflaged to the ground. I'd spotted this one in outskirts of Rajkot. This one is Indian pitta, also called Navrang in Hindi, because of its beautiful coloration. This is a word eater flycatcher from Mussoorie. This is a beautiful male Indian paradise flycatcher with a long tail. The tail is an ornament to attract mates. This one is a large raptor called Bonelli's eagle. I had captured it from a hill. You can see it is in the flight at Bandardara. This is another huge raptor called grey-headed fish eagle, and they are masters in fishing and also spotted at Kanha National Park. This is a relatively common raptor, bird of prey, black-winged kite, and we can see it with a rodent kill, also spotted in outskirts of Rajkot. So now I'll like to proceed to my area of interest, that is the jumping spiders. Shailesh has already briefed about the spiders. However, from my childhood, I have been fascinated by them, and I have been documenting them from my backyard to various forests. So, jumping spider is a family of spiders. They are taxonomically called Salticidae. They are very tiny, about 1 to 15 millimeters in size, but they are remarkable for their sophisticated behavior. Their brain is no larger than a pinhead size, and they possess only 6 lakh neurons. And unlike most other spiders, they do not rely on webs to catch prey, but they are active hunters and they leap on their targets. For that, they have an exceptional vision, which is comparable to larger mammals. And despite that pinhead-sized brain, they demonstrate learning, memory, problem-solving capabilities, and reveal a surprising level of cognitive complexities. And there are around 7,000 described species yet. So just to give a perspective of their size, the brown dot on the leaf is the jumping spider. And this is the macro shot of the same spider. This is this spider genus is called Portia, and they are very well known for their intelligent behavior and hunting strategies. This image I had captured from Karnala Wildlife Sanctuary in Mumbai outskirts. They also show great parental care. Here we can see mother Epius indicus guarding the eggs, also seen in Karnala Wildlife Sanctuary. Some of the species are great mimickers, like this Maracne. It is mimicking an arboreal ant. You can see the comparison. The right side, it's arboreal bicolor ant, and the left, the photo I had taken from Rajkot. This Maracne species. Some of them exhibit cannibalism, like this female Hylas semicupreus devouring another female. Unlike our conjugate eye movements, their retinal tubes move independently. So here, the black eye is looking at us, and the green one is looking away. This is a carotid species from Singapore I captured. Some of them are very colorful, like this Siler semiglacus from Sumatra, Indonesia. There are also a genus called Meritus, the peacock spiders from Australia, which show beautiful courtship displays, the males. So I would like to conclude with my contribution to zoology. So in 2020, before joining my neurology training at Jaslok Hospital, I had spotted this tiny male spider around, it was around 1.29 millimeter. and I had not seen this genus previously in Rajkot outskirts. So I suspected it to be a new species. So I sent the photographs to one of my good arachnologist friend, Dhruv Prajapati from Ahmedabad, and he was also equally excited that it was very tiny, 1.29 millimeter, but it was an adult. In a month, I also found female of the same species. It was slightly larger, 1.42 millimeter, and I sent both the specimens to him. This was the area, this is Kirasaviri, grasslands in the outskirts of Rajkot, and I found both of the spiders there. And after detailed taxonomic and microscopic evaluation, it was found that the species is new to science. And we sent our findings to Swiss Journal of Zoology, published by Geneva Museum of Natural History, and the paper was accepted and designating it as a new species officially. We decided to name the spider to honor Yelapragada Subbarao, a forgotten genius. He is a Indian biochemist. He has he has invented methotrexate, DEC, tetracyclines, and even function of ATP, which has saved millions of lives. So we named it Tanzania Yelapragadae. So Yelapragadae is the species name, Tanzania is the genus. And this was also mentioned in Animal Discoveries journal published in 2022 by Zoological Survey of India and Environmental Ministry of India. That's it. Thank you for patiently listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Astos. That was very exciting, very interesting as well.
Thank
How
you,
do you
sir.
find time for all this? Or is it similar to Dr. Shailesh?
So, so sir, the discovery was made prior to joining in 2020 in Jaslok. I passed out from Jaslok. I've done DRNB neurology from there. So before that, I had after completing the NEET essays, I had like 2 to 3 months because of COVID, and daily I used to visit this peripheral areas like grasslands and all that for wildlife and specifically for jumping spiders, and so that's when I found the new species.
Right. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, isn't it? It's
Yeah. So yeah, the spider I have discovered is one of the smallest jumping spider in the world.
very nice. Congratulations on your
Thank you,
discovery,
sir.
and we hope that you will keep on doing this work also alongside your neurology.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much, Dr. Astosh. Now we'll move on
Thank
to
you,
the
sir.
next presentation, that is Dr. Veni. Yes, Dr. Veni is a very, she's not a junior neurologist. She's now on her way to becoming a senior neurologist, very well established, well-known neurologist in Trichy. She was initially in service, now she has her own practice, and she is simultaneously very successful in many areas of education of the public regarding neurology, as well as other spiritual practices, including yoga and meditation and all that. She has done a lot of courses herself, and she has, I think, produced her own method of meditation, which she once shared with me. And she has published 4 articles in national and international journals, and she has authored 1 chapter in Pearls in Neurology, and she has written numerous books in Tamil for the uh, local people of Tamil Nadu, and she has received many awards. Munnodi Penmani Award by the prestigious Bharatidasan University, and Maruthuva Sevakar, that is uh, Service to Medicine Award by Tamil Kalai Kazhagam, and Nalavaழ்வு நாற்பது நாம் கைகளில் நல்வாழ்வு நாற்பது நம் கைகளில், that is a good life is in your hands, if you want me to translate it very roughly. And Saminathan, Honorable Minister of Tamil Nadu Valarchi and Saidithurai Award. So she is going to talk to us on a different topic today, which is equally interesting. That is the mudras in dance, the Indian classical dance, specifically Bharatanatyam, and how it relates to neurology. Dr. Veni.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice introduction. Let me share my slide. I salute the illuminator of this universe who has blessed me a chance to serve the humanity. Is it visible? Is it visible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Happy morning to all of you. We enjoyed with poetry, sketching, photography. Actually, I and you exist in this universe for a purpose. When we analyze what is the ultimate purpose in our life, it's health and happiness. Actually, which propels our entire journey of life? It's joy. Joy propels our being. In joy, we lose ourselves. Actually, I lost myself when listening to the poetry of Tejaswini and sketching of the Suborit and photography. In joy, actually, we lose ourselves. That is the graceful transformation. I'm grateful to Professor Dr. Vasudevan for giving me this opportunity to share my view on graceful transformation. In that, I'm going to discuss about the science of classical dance and neuroplasticity. Mine is a more of professional talk. When any transformation in our life combined with joy and grace, definitely it will ensure continuity, trust, sustainability, and it also involves intentionality, adaptability, and resilience. Right now, with my experience in my life journey, I'm not focusing on the end result, that is the target. I'm just focusing on the effort, what I'm making in my day-to-day routines. We do educate our patient about the importance of exercise, sleep hygiene, and diet. But how many of our patients are following that? Less than 30%. Even, especially the pediatric and geriatric age group, we can't say to exercise. In patients with depression and degeneration, we have finding so many difficulty in making them to exercise. In that, we can find out the alternative route, like mindfulness, yoga, meditation, then pranayama, cognitive behavior therapy, dance. Any kind of alternative therapy may be included with our allopathy drugs. What it will do, these reflect graceful transformation at the individual level, enabling identity shift without any undue stress. This is very important, without any undue stress. These changes, we can't see the naked eye. If we are giving paracetamol, the fever will go off. We can witness immediately. But these procedures, what I mentioned, yoga, pranayama, meditation, this will create subtle changes. So we can observe the micro changes over time, not immediately. This we need to understand. Then coming to the classical dance, actually we are aware of 4 Vedas, Rigya, Yajur, Sama, Dharvana Vedas. Out of this, classical dance originates from Samaveda. It's a Veda of music and melody. Natya Shastra is written by Bharata Muni. He states that dance was created by gods. Of course, everything exists in this universe because of this supreme power. God created this classical dance to educate, entertain, and heal the human kingdom. Indian classical dance is more than an art. It has a profound spiritual and healing practice rooted in the ancient traditions. When our medical science meets the spirituality, wellness blossoms. Remember this, medical science, when it meets the spirituality, wellness blossoms. In the classical dance, we are having so many components within. Nritya, Natya. It's about pure dance. In classical dance, we have so many adavu. Basic is Araimandi, then Tattadavu, Natadavu, Paravaladavu, Kudithu, Tattadavu. Like that, so many pure dance components within. Then expressive component, then emotional essence added to it, then Abhinaya, Shirobedas, Dishti Bedas, Kriva Bedas, and Samyuddha Hastas and Asamyuddha Hastas. Like that, so many components are added within the classical dance. Then selecting the costume and makeup, then stagecraft, accompaniments, everything has a role in activating the human brain as well as our physical and every cell of our system. By expressing and experiencing the rasa, the both performer and viewer undergo a process in the brain. Even though our patients and ourselves not able to perfect that task perfectly, but visualizing the teacher's perfect work, we can get the same benefit out of it. We can use this classical dance as a sigicha. Then in modern times, we identify this classical dance as a therapy. It can cure both psychological level and physiological level. We will see one by one. This is the definition of dance movement therapy. It's also known as dance movement psychotherapy. Is a holistic approach to mental health and well-being that uses body movement as a means of emotional, cognitive, physical, and social integration. This also reflects an individual pattern of thinking and feeling. Our ABC of life is thinking, feeling, action. Repeated action becomes habit. Our habits decides a destiny. We all know that. So the individual pattern of thinking and feeling is included in this dance movement therapy. We all know body and mind are interconnected. By giving this dance movement therapy, we can tap the innate capacity of our healing process within us. So this is very important. So we can stimulate the innate capacity of our healing process within our body. We can use this dance movement therapy in the holistic way. Starting from cardiovascular system, respiratory system, regular dance practice increase the VO2 max. The VO2 max is nothing but we have to record the baseline heart rate before practicing dance. Then we have to take the peak heart rate. Maximum heart rate divided by minimum heart rate and times 15 gives you V2 max, VO2 max. This is essential for the physical resilience in aging population. It improves the heart rate, circulation, oxygen delivery, which is very crucial in preventing cardiovascular related morbidity. It also enhances our stability endurance. This is very important in geriatric population because it reduces the fall risk and improves the gait and balance. Thereby, it increases the longevity of the individual. This is very important. Then, of course, it enhances the brain health. We will be seeing subsequent slide. And it also can be used as a stress buster by listening to the music and making a step accordingly. What it happened to our brain? It enhanced the delivery of the endorphin, opioids, serotonin, dopamine. It lowers the cortisol level. So we can use this as a stress buster. Then it improves the social health also. When we are doing group practice, it enhances the empathy and communication skills and creates bonding among the students. This is very important in dance, group dance. We can use the dance as a medicine. Anxiety patient, depressive individuals, when we listen to the music, our body will automatically, every cell is flooded with energy. We can see the enthusiasm. In our own life, we can feel when we listen to the lovable song or music like that. Then it speed the recovery after trauma, head injury, especially head injury. We can use this DMT in neurodivergent population like autism and ADHD. We can use this therapy in diabetes, obesity, fibromyalgia, and chronic pain by giving gentle movement and relaxation technique. This is very important. Then as a neurologist, I see this dance as a cognitive motor hybrid. It includes complex rhythmic footwork. When I mentioned earlier, tattadavu, naatadavu, paravaladavu, kudithu, metadavu, like that, a lot of footwork is included in this classical dance. Then codified gestures in samyuddha hastas and asamyuddha hastas, like that. In facial expressions, the abhinaya, then kriva bedas and ocular movements, then facial expressions, and telling everything what I feel with the gestures and expressions. Then asymmetrical limb coordination, then long sequence memorization, step by step for 3 minutes, how it syncs with the music. Like that long sequence memorization is possible with this dance movement therapy so that they can enjoy and listen to the music and make a correct step. Then precise spatial awareness, how much step we can take for this movement, that movement, like that. The precise spatial awareness may be enhanced with this dance, classical dance. These are the areas stimulated when we analyze the dance movement therapy. Neural network activated by the individual performance, the taking the step, coordinated movement, and how we sync with the rhythm and smooth motion, then fine tuning the movement, then direct the focus, multitasking, doing multitasking. The same time, the student has to listen to the music and the teacher's instruction, visual cues, and we have to see the audience. Everything is included. So it stimulates so many areas in the brain, starting from our motor, premotor, and procedural memory area like basal ganglia, cerebellum, then prefrontal cortex, thereby to enhance the cognition, hippocampus, thereby to enhance the memory, parietal lobe, auditory cortex, and visual cortex. All the cortical areas are literally involved. Then mirror neuron stimulation. This is very important for autism and ADHD in pediatric age group. It facilitates the learning. It enhances the learning process through watching others. So watching the dance teacher's movement itself can stimulate so many areas in the brain, even though they're not able to perform fully and correctly. When we analyze the sensory motor plasticity, sensory stimulation, repetitive physical stimulation, and kinesthetic mirroring, these three parameters are included in this sensory motor plasticity. The main focus and function stimulated by this plasticity is motor learning, coordination, balance, and emotional regulation. So we can use this dance movement therapy in autism kids. It enhances social skills, motor coordination, emotional regulation, and engagement. This is very important. The parents are finding very difficult in engaging these kind of children. So engagement for 1 hour or 2 hours in the home practice. So engagement of the kids is very important. Thereby we can reduce the stress level of the caregiver. This is also very important in this dance movement therapy. Then parents also can get enjoy with this. Then when we analyze the cognitive outcome, brain-derived neurotrophic factor get increased by this dance. Thereby it helps in the formation of new learning and memory. So it's evidenced by these tasks. Main focus in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and anterior cingulate cortex. Thereby it enhance the cognitive outcome. These are the evidence. Now our modern science try to prove what is the benefit out of it, why it's created by God, what are the areas involved. When I study MBBS, the pineal gland said to be a vestigial organ, but nowadays the pineal gland said to be the organ of intuition, and the meditation will, the Om chanting will stimulate the pineal gland. That is the main hormone of youth and hormone of our circadian rhythm, like that. So nowadays the science revealing something. So science cannot prove everything, but in the physical level, in the atom level, we can prove what are the things happening within when we are doing spiritual practices and dance. The gray matter thickness is increased, especially in the premotor cortex and supplementary motor area and cerebellum. The hippocampus volume is also increasing. It enhances the connectivity between the two hemispheres so that we can do multitasking. Then increase the functional anisotrophy. And functional MRI says that task specific area activation, especially in the prefrontal cortex. It's an area of our creativity, judgment, decision making, everything. So basal ganglia and cerebellum for our procedural memory. So lot of benefit out of this dance movement therapy. We can use this therapy as a rehab, especially neuro, ortho, and psychiatric rehab. I'm going to focus only on the neuro rehab. We can use this dance movement therapy for stroke patient. When the patient can see the dancer's movement and taking the essence and abhinaya of the dancer itself can activate so many areas in the brain, even though the patient not able to perform. So when we analyze all the disease and its benefits, the emotional processing is very, very important, because when the disease immediately happen in any individual's life, It's very difficult to accept. So emotional balance may be maintained with this music as well as dance along with steps. We can maintain the emotional balance of these kind of patients.
Veni,
This
can
is,
you?
sir, this is the
comment
last
quickly?
slide.
Yeah, fine.
This is the dance movement therapy in our Prana Reha. To conclude, a graceful transformation refers to the process of navigating changes in a way that it's deliberate, empathetic, and minimally disruptive. It values long-term integration over short-term gains and encourages systems to evolve without abrupt dislocation. By engaging in structural dance training, individuals can enhance physical, mental, emotional, social well being, agility, and quality of life, and we can enhance the longevity of life. Every step taken on the dance floor is a step towards neural rejuvenation and graceful transformation. We can motivate our patient for DMT, which gives preventive and rehabilitative advantage, especially in kids and specific disorders, which we discussed so far, the Parkinsonism, stroke. So try to dance with your brain. Enjoy being of vibrant, radiant, and vivacious youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Veni. Are you doing it regularly with your patients? Which kind of patients do you recommend this?
Sir, the seizure patients.
Okay.
Then intellectual disorder, they're able to listen. First, we can assess the ability of the listening skill and adaptation.
Okay. Very nice. I think you should go ahead with this and make a study out of it. More useful. Thank you. Thank you. Now, last but not the least, our grand see for the day, Dr. Vijayan from Coimbatore. Can I have his slide, please, Smita? Dr. Vijayan has given a very short slide, but he is much more than this. He is a senior consultant neurologist at Royal Care Hospital in Coimbatore, and one of the senior neurologists of Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu. He plays a very active role in all the activities of TAN as well as IN, and he has contributed a lot. And he is pioneer in the field of MRG FUS program, especially at Royal Care Hospital in Coimbatore. And he has other interests outside neurology, which includes music. And today is going to take us to a very interesting aspect, that is synesthesia, particularly relating to music. He is going to explain about it first and then about the song as well. Dr. Vijayan.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Vijayan.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Please explain slide.
Slide. Well, before I start, I'm not as gifted as Suvarit. I'm not as gifted as Veni or Tejaswini, but at least I can do something. At least I can appreciate art. I can say, wow, wow, fine. So I start off with that. Whenever I listen to this Tamil film song, I always feel that only a synesthete could have written this song. Basically it states that தென்றல் வந்து தீண்டும் போது என்ன வண்ணமோ மனசுல திங்கள் வந்து காயும் போது என்ன வண்ணமோ நினைப்புல. That means, what is the color that appears in your heart when the breeze caresses you? Heart, brief, it's loosely translated as manasula, meaning mind. And what is the color that appears in your thought when the moon shows up very bright? And the hero goes on further to tell that vandu pogudamma ennamellam vannamamma எண்ணங்களுக்கு ஏத்தபடி வண்ணமெல்லாம் மாறுமம்மா. And he finally ends saying that உண்மை அம்மா உள்ளதை நானும் சொன்னேன் பொன்னம்மா சின்னக்கணல். Means all the fleeting thoughts are a splendor of colors, my lady. That is, he perceives the thoughts and the emotions as colors, and the colors would change according to the thoughts. And he says, this is the truth, my lady, and I'm saying what I perceive. I perceive the sensation as colors in my brain. I perceive thoughts as colors in my brain, and I perceive emotions as colors in my brain to this. Similarly, this song is littered with extensively with similes, and it's basically a neurology song, basically a synesthesia song. And when the end comes, he says all the fleeting thoughts are a splendor of colors, and the colors would change according to the thoughts. And when she asks, she is congenitally blind, and she asks finally, what is the actual truth, and how do you define every color? Because she can perceive the color, but she cannot express it. Now, the basic question is: this is a song. You can see a splash of colors that the director has also. It's so abstract when it starts with, and finally you find a beautiful woman's face embedded in this beautiful splash of colors. Just listen to the music also. She's congenitally blind, but she experiences the colors, the thoughts, and the emotions as colors. So song basically states that emotions, thoughts elicit colors in the brain, and the colors change based upon the different emotions. It starts with a simple touch color synesthesia, followed by higher levels of synesthesia, like thought and color, emotion and color. And throughout the song, it is littered with various metaphors. Only a synesthete could a metaphor mean you link two abstract, two different, absolutely different concepts together. Only a synesthete could have linked this, and probably only a synesthete could have written these lyrics. Written by the great Tamil poet Vali, this is one of his most beautiful lyrics, which can be probably only understood by neurologists and synesthetes, and that is why probably he did not get an award for this song. Picturized very beautifully, one can see a splash of colors all over the song and a change of colors with emotions attached to the lyrics of the song. The director is probably also a synesthete who can understand the lyrics and create such a celluloid magic like this one. The heroine is blind, as I already told you, and hero explains emotions and thoughts as perceptions of touch and feel. And yes, the blind can also be synesthetes. But will they perceive color if they are congenitally blind? If they are blind halfway through, yes, they can. When they touch the braille, for example, they can feel the color. For example, 5 would be red for them, 3 would be blue, and so on and so forth. But what is the actual truth, and how do you define every color? That is what she asks at the end. That means she can perceive something happening in the brain, but she cannot exactly tell that it is color, or she cannot exactly define that to us. Or the music was composed by Maestro Ilayaraja, and the basic raga is Nata Bhairavi, a Hindustani equivalent of Jaunpuri. It's actually a Jaunpuri is a raga which is derived from Nata Bhairavi, and the first 4 lines are exactly Nata Bhairavi, and the last 2 lines of the first stanza are Jaunpuri, which is Hindustani classical, and which is the Western equivalent of the natural minor scale or the Elian mode. This has effects on brain waves and mood. Nata Bhairavi evokes melancholic, introspective, and calming emotions. And listening to such ragas can stimulate theta and alpha brain waves associated with relaxation, meditative states, reduced anxiety, improved emotional processing, and therapeutic applications of this raga, Nata Bhairavi. In Indian music therapy, it is sometimes recommended for mental balance and neurological issues like stress, insomnia, and even early stage neurodegenerative symptoms. Is the maestro also a synesthete? Otherwise, how would he have understood these lyrics? How would he have composed such a beautiful tone in this particular raga, which is Nata Bhairavi or Jaunpuri in Hindustani classical? Whatever it may be, all the three, the poet, the composer, and the director, seem to have a hyper-connected brain. Let us first further talk about connections, disconnections, and cross-connections. Synesthesia. Synesthesia is a condition in which otherwise normal person experiences sensations in one modality when a second modality is stimulated. In other words, a sensory stimuli causes unusual additional experiences. These additional experiences often occur between modalities, such as seeing colors while listening to music or feeling tactile shapes while tasting food. Barron and Cohen. Now, it was first described by Francis Galton in 1880, who also noted that it runs in families. So it is just not imagination. They're not just crazy, but it runs in families and it has a genetic basis to it. And it's so common. Unless we ask the people, then if you ask the artists and the composers, they say that they don't compose with their it just comes to them. Then that means the brains are hyper-connected, which means it is organic and it is real. The incidence is about 1 in 20 to 50, and it's 8 times more common in artists, poets, and writers. One of the most common and intensely studied forms of is the grapheme color synthesis. That is, the form, identifying the form and the color. For example, a synesthete may experience a specific color when he or she encounters a particular tone, or he may see a color when he experiences a number, say 5 or 6 may be red, 5 may be blue, and so on and so forth. Now, how is this possible? Now, you know that the fusiform gyrus, this is a spindle-shaped gyrus that spans the basal surfaces of the occipital and the temporal lobes, lateral, medial, occipitotemporal gyrus, separated by a mid-fusiform gyrus. It is the area for higher processing of visual information. Now, visual information is transmitted across the optic tracts to the occipital cortex, and then it is split into about 30 different regions which perceive, which decode each and every aspect of the image we see. And one of these areas is the fusiform gyrus, and this gyrus is especially involved in form recognition. Now, this gyrus is very closely located to the color area of the occipital lobe. And this, see, the area which is the color area and the area which is for recognition of forms are very closely located to each other. That is why the number color synesthesia or the form color synesthesia or the grapheme color synesthesia is a commonest type of synesthesia which we encounter. That is, they feel 5 as red, green, 6 as blue, and so on and so forth. Now, if you go further, the number color synesthesia, these individuals, when they are shown the Roman letter 5, it does not evoke a color. The individual can still recognize it as 5, but it is no longer tinged in red or green. So this is basically a form and color synesthesia. That is a hyper connection between the fusiform gyrus and the V4 area, the grapheme area, the color area. And if there are higher synesthetes, these higher synesthetes are nothing but the Roman letter 5 is also seen in the same color. For example, if they see 5 as red, they also see Roman letter 5 as red. That means these people also have the ability to connect the concept of 5, the 5ness of 5 or the 6ness of 6 to the color. In these individuals, integration occurs at the concept level, and this concept level occurs at the level of the angular gyrus. The angular gyrus, we all know, is situated here, and it is hyper connected in these. It is involved in spatial cognition, language processing, attention, memory retrieval, number processing, etc. It is also needed for concept recognition, and this hyper connectivity between the V4 color area, the grapheme recognition area, the fusiform gyrus, and the angular gyrus, that results in a heightened activity of artists, poets, and other higher level people. Infants and children, we know, are hyper connected. So are artists and writers and poets. That is why most epilepsies in children, even though they have a focal onset, usually they present as generalized seizures. As you grow older, the various areas of the brain gradually get disconnected from each other, and the resulting nodules specialize in particular functions, but they always remain connected to some extent. The brain functions as individual nodules, power centers, and also as networks. Apart from this, the brain also functions as gestalt, meaning that when organized together, the whole is perceived more than the sum of its parts. Artists, writers, and poets are hyper-connected, and that is why they can create metaphors very easily. That is, they have the ability to link two totally different concepts. Like when Romeo saw Juliet, he explained that this is the east and Juliet is the sun. Juliet cannot obviously be the sun, but she is warm like the sun. She is radiant like the sun. That is what the poet expresses when he says it is the east and Juliet is the sun. Tirunavukarasar, who is a famous Tamil saint poet, who is known for using metaphors in his hymns. Hymns are nothing but poems sung in praises of gods, composed on Lord Shiva, And this is one such composition where this is sung in praise of Lord Shiva, saying, and it's all littered with extensively with metaphors and this one. So you have to have a hyper connected brain, and you have to be a synesthete to be an artist. So artists, poets are hyper connected. Physicians like us, lesser mortals, are less connected. Surgeons maybe are disconnected. No pun intended here, because you don't want your neurosurgeon to be metaphorical when he's operating on two masses of jelly, the two hemispheres in the brain. And if he becomes metaphorical, then you're gone. The brain is the only organ that can contemplate and also contemplate on itself contemplating. With that, I would like to share these references. References are Phantoms in the Brain from V.S. Ramchandran. V.S. Ramchandran lectures on synesthesia. Dr. Shivani, my postgraduate student who's a physician now, Dr. Matthew Cherry, an interventional radiologist, Dr. Donald, a musician, Mr. Abhilash, super singer fame, and Mr. Srikanth Hariharan, musician and playback singer. These are the references. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijayan. That was wonderful.
Sir.
It was a absolute capsule with excellent examples on it. In brief, I could say it was a short what would say, a monograph on synesthesia. Monograph on synesthesia.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sudhir Shah, your comments.
So I think it was very brief but very eye-opener and enlightening session, and I really appreciate his efforts. I'm reminded of that verse. I'm sure Dr. Veni must be aware of that, because this is basically from Natya. Angikam bhuvanam yasya vajikam sarvavangmaya aharyam chandrataradi tam nama satvikam shivam. See, neurology actually has access to all the branches that we are discussing. Although the academic neurology is separated out as a distinct branch, the poetry, music, literature, art, photography, hobbies, dancing, whatever, science of colors, philosophy, spirituality, as I mentioned in the beginning, they're all interconnected, and we can explain on the neural basis. Neurology, neuropsychiatry, neurochemistry, neurotransmitters, the connections, the synapses, the molecules, genes, all these have a complex mechanism to explain all these sciences. So one day we would be, corroborating all this in a wonderful way. But it was our small attempt to combine them and put on one platform, and that has been successful. The verse that I invoke on the that was for the Lord Shiva. It means that we bow to him, the benevolent one, the Shiva, whose limbs are the universe. The universe is the manifestation of Lord Shiva, his limbs even, whose song and poetry, his words and communication are the essence of all languages. That is Vanchikam Sarva Vangmayam. जो भी वांग्मय है उसकी वाचा है. And Aharyam Chandra Taradi, whatever the celestial bodies are, they are basically its ornaments, Shiv ke ornaments hai. And Tam Nama Satvikam Shivam. We bow down to this Lord Shiva. And the manifestation of right from yoga to dance to art to literature, as has been mentioned in our ancient scriptures, it all came with the expression of Lord Shiva when he was explaining one by one to Parvati and other. So that is how the beautiful explanation has come. So ultimately, I personally think that neurology is also derived from all these basic sciences, and that is Lord Shiva has something to do with us, if at all I extrapolate this. Anyway, keeping all those discussion aside, now it is time for us to wind up the session. But I personally feel that we should spot more jewels from our neurology group, and Dr. Vasudevan would, I'm sure, would be happy to uh, collect those jewels and showcase them in coming time, and all those people who take this endeavor forward. With that, uh, we may now close the session, and Dr. Vasudevan, you are requested to thank all those people who have presented beautifully and all the delegates who are present. And of course, thanks to IAN for giving us this opportunity. Dr. Vasudevan, please do that pleasant job.
Yeah, before we close, I would like to officially thank the IAN for encouraging this subsection, and they have been with us all through. And we have done, as I said, quite a few programs in the past, but this one was absolutely different and unique. I'm sure all of you would agree that the amount of talent and uniqueness each presenter displayed was wonderful. I am sure going forward, the subsection would like more and more such presentations. I especially thank all the presenters, Dr. Tejaswini, Dr. Shailesh, Dr. Asutosh, Dr. Surit, Dr. Veni, Dr. Vijayan, for having taken the time off to present today and make the whole program extremely interesting and informative for all of us. I thank all the other members of the subsection and other members of the IN who have attended, the office bearers, and of course the digital team, Ms. Asmita Makli, for arranging and helping us conduct this program. Thank you, all of you. Thank you very much.
Jai Hind.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jai. So we can close.